an exercise that I like to help people define their values is based on what are the actions that they're taking. I can go into that. It's maybe if someone's listening and they're interested in this, kind of go through this now with me. I'll describe it in this way. So it's called deathbed values, and you imagine yourself, 100 years from now with all the biohacking technology, and you're on your deathbed, and you're looking back on your life, and you have lived the best possible life that you could imagine from this moment till then. You're surrounded by your kids, your great grandkids, your great great grandkids, everyone that you love in your life is there, and you wouldn't change a thing from listening to my voice now until that time. After I tell you this, pause the video and write down all of the different actions that you took to allow yourself to feel that way. What would be the actions, the things that you did in your life to elicit that feeling? Now, once you've written all those down, organize them into different blocks. So different categories. So I'll call these your value buckets.
Hmm.
Maybe health and wellness could be one, quality time with friends and family, business, impact, travel, whatever they are. Now, those are your values. And so look back at the last month, 2 weeks of your life and see how much time did you spend outside of those things. When I do this with people, it's like we're raising hands. It's like an hour, every hand goes up. 2 hours, half the hands stay up. 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. People spend a lot of time doing things outside of their values because no one writes down the best possible life is when I just doom scrolled on social media, or when I was masturbating to porn, or when I'm watching TV. Like, no one writes those things down, and people do them. And you can see how much you're doing them because it's tracked, usually on
That's
your
right.
phone. So if you're struggling with confidence or anxiety or lack of self worth, the closer you can make that delta from the things that you say are truly valuable versus the things that you're doing, that's going to increase the way that you feel about yourself.
Mm.
And the easy math on it is that kind of can set things into perspective. Is if you spend 8 hours a night sleeping, we'll say, then you have 16 hours of waking time to live your life. And if you spend about 2.5 hours doing things you don't value, that's almost 2 months a year doing activities that you don't value,
Wow.
which is wild. So it kind of like that helps people make sense of, oh, that makes sense why I might not feel the way I feel. And then
Yeah.
steps to change it up.
Yeah, that really helps quantify it, right? It's a more palpable, like gut punch, almost like, oh shit, like 2 months of my life I'm basically wasting doing useless tasks. It's always similar. It's a cheeky one, and I'm guilty of it too. But when people say, I don't have time, insert excuse, it's like go on your phone real quick and tell me what your screen time is every day on your phone. And then they're almost embarrassed to tell you, right? Because it might be 4, 5, 6 hours. Okay, to do that over 7 days, how much time of that adds up to a month? And we're talking 48, 72 hours of what are we doing there? And it's like, it's that classic shift of maybe it's not that you don't have time, it's maybe that these things are just very pervasive and you're acting them out unconsciously, and you haven't really identified your priorities, which is synonymous with values, right? And I think that is a really good point. I like to really help people try and flesh out their values too, because I'm dead on with you. I think that's probably the fundamental tension that people have is they have, if you don't have a dream, culture will have one for you. If you don't have values, culture will have one for you. Your family will have them for you. Your teachers, your parents, whoever were your role models. And hopefully, if you come from a really good family with teachers and role models, those values are great. But oftentimes they're not. And oftentimes they're certainly not yours, that you were enculturated, right? Is that what you want? You want to be given your purpose. You want to be told who you are and what you think. And I don't think we really want that. I think it's very good to have healthy values in whatever communities that we ascribe to, but we've really got to do the fundamental work of fleshing them out ourselves. Like, what really matters to me? And when you do that, like you said, now you can just look at your life very objectively and say, am I doing the kinds of behaviors that are aligning with these values that I say are important to me? And the obvious answer for most people is no, or not that much. And therefore, we need to do more of that. And I think that would naturally increase confidence. This quote by Hormozy has been memed to death, but it's a good one. He says, you don't get confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror. You get confident by building an undeniable stack of proof that you are who you say you are. So it's action, right? Everything's action. I always say that the magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding.
I mean, that the tagline of my coaching company is a life of action.
Yeah.
Because so especially now, like, if you're listening to podcasts or this podcast and you hit something that resonates with you, like pause the podcast, go do the thing that resonated with you, and then come back and listen to it later.
Yeah.
But so often it sounds so good. We're like, yeah, I'm on the same page as these guys. Like, I'm part of this tribe. I want to keep listening to these things versus going out and doing the things that you're learning about. And
Yeah.
it becomes, you start to become addicted to just consuming, and it's not bad content, but if there's not, it's not greater on the creating versus then the consuming, then you're going to be, you're going to struggle with the actions that you're not taking.
All right, friends, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Radical Health Radio. We got a fresh new podcast for you every Wednesday. If you enjoyed the show, consider liking, subscribing, reviewing, and rating us on your podcast platform. It helps to spread this message of radical health. We'll see you next week.